We are live. It is Lace Flowers and Sutton McCraney once again coming to you live. And today we've got a bit of a mishmash. It's kind of a general flavored gum flap where we're just going to be dropping all that good stuff on you. So open your lug holes and listen up, yeah?
What she said. Yeah, definitely. We don't have anything too heavy for you. I mean, last week it was heavy. We got into some deep stuff with the Is It Legit research paper. And we're just going to dial back a little bit today and talk about some celebrations, talk about some wins that have been going on inside of the flavor room, and share all of that juicy information with you all here. So first, we just want to give a huge shout out to Kimberly Graham, who is a money mastery coach who graced the flavor room with her presence last week with a just phenomenal presentation, a phenomenal workshop. And we're just really grateful that she took the time to do that for us. Because I can tell you firsthand, it is difficult to find someone who is actually a money coach, not someone who is just selling financial products and services. Kimberly is the real deal. She has a great teaching style, as a background as a teacher. And also she's very passionate and very educated about what she is speaking about. And she is living it. I think that's the biggest thing, is she is talking the talk and walking the walk. So we really appreciate Kimberly. And yeah, if you are someone who is like, you need to get your stuff together with your money personally and professionally in 2026, you need to talk to Kimberly.
Yes, you need to help Kimberly and let her know that the girls in the flavor room sent your ass, because you'll be very, very grateful that we did. You're welcome.
Yeah, and next we want to celebrate our first annual member of 2026. Yes, the Flavor Room does have an annual membership option, and we welcomed our first annual member of 2026. Super excited about that. Very excited for all the things that are going to unfold for this member inside and outside of the Flavor Room. And next, Lace, you want to take this one?
Wait. Before we finish up with the new member, we just want to celebrate also that this new member came via the Fully Flavored Business podcast. Yes, you heard that correctly. So the podcast is podcasting and it's actually bringing people through our doors. And I think that's fantastic because it's still quite new. We haven't been doing this very long, although Sutton is pretty well versed in podcasting. So big up to her for that. I'm brand new to this, but the fact it's all just working beautifully, people are tuning in and it's landing is just beautiful. So very, very excited about that.
Lace, thank you for reminding me of that, because I have forgotten. I mean, so many things happen with us like on a day-to-day basis that these accomplishments I kind of forget about, and I think you probably do too. And yeah, I mean, that's amazing that this annual member came through the podcast, because how often do you hear that it doesn't work? Nobody's listening. And I think the biggest takeaway for all of you listening who are thinking about podcasting, you're thinking about blogging, you're thinking about doing any kind of marketing strategy for your business, you have to give it time. And you have to put in the work. It cannot be something where you're like, one day I'll try it and nobody responds, and so I'm just throwing it out the window. No, you have to roll up your sleeves, dig in, and keep going. I know that sounds cliche to keep going, but that's what you have to do. 30 days is not enough. 60 days is not enough. You have to go all in without expecting an immediate result. Go all in because you enjoy it. Go all in because you like the process, because you like writing, because you like speaking, whatever it is, go all in and let the chips fall where they may. Don't get yourself locked in with, okay, this has to be transactional. I did this for 30 days, so I'm expecting 30 people to be emailing me. No. Everything's going to happen when it's going to happen. You just have to do your due diligence and plant seeds. And that's exactly what we've been doing. And we will continue to do so. And it works.
Yeah, it does. And I think we can just quickly touch on the fact that we have just started a PR campaign and we will be documenting that. But what Sutton has just said falls into that as well. You know, it's not, oh, we started this thing a week ago and, oh, nobody's had us do anything yet or blah, blah, blah. No, we are sat here, we are rolling up our sleeves, we're checking people out, we're stalking people, and we're making sure that whatever we're saying yes to, the opportunities that come our way, that they are aligned, that it's a place where we want to be seen and featured. And then we're sending off those forms and we've got loads of things in the pipeline. So no, we haven't just gone from, oh, we started this thing and now we're like famous. No, not at all. We probably won't be famous anyway, but things are, you know, ticking along in the background, and you can expect to see a lot more of our big beautiful faces in many places this year, because it's all happening behind the scenes and we're just there being diligent and doing what we have to do on a daily basis together to do that, despite our 6 hour time difference.
Absolutely. And I want to kind of go in a little further off of what Lace just said about the PR, because one of our brilliant flavor members asked this question last week. She said, what do you hope to accomplish from PR? I know you guys want to grow the flavor room. And, you know, that's kind of what people would expect, that the reason why you'd be doing PR is so you can grow your business and, you know, make money, right? For us, it's not that, because we understand that whatever moves we make, money is a byproduct of that, right? Automatically. So that's not the purpose. The purpose is to spread our message, to get the mission and vision of the flavor room in front of more people. Because from day one, we have said that we are out here to set the standard, to change the face of online business, of online entrepreneurship. And we have done that, and we will continue to do that. So that's why we're doing PR. And I also want to add that, Lace, I mean, let me know what you've thought about this just after our first week with PR. My eyes have been opened, not in the way that I was expecting. My eyes have been opened from the standpoint that PR is a grind. Not that I thought it was going to be easy, but it's a grind because you are knocking on people's doors, right? You are applying for things without that guarantee. And that guarantee is what stops a lot of people in the online business space from going forward and doing things. Because they want to be sure that when they invest time, when they invest money, that it's going to work out. And usually when they mean work out, it's going to default to their favor, right? Whatever that is. But with PR, you don't know. You put your hat in the ring, and then that's it. So I think over the last week, Lace, we've had over 100 opportunities come across our desks, right? And we have easily, and we have combed every single one of them. We're not putting ourselves out there blindly for anything and everything, because that's not who we are and that's not what we're here for. We have taken the time to research, look into each and every one of these and decide what we want to go forward with, what do we don't, right? And so that's another reason that PR is a grind. And there's a level of vulnerability here. Everybody talks about getting visible, but it's usually in the context of posting or going live. People don't talk about the level of visibility that comes along with public relations. Because as I said earlier, you're knocking on people's doors. They can say yes or they can say no. And you're waiting. The yes or the no is not going to come tomorrow. It may come weeks or months later, and you don't have any control over that. So there's an aspect of vulnerability with that, but also the vulnerability from what you say needs to match who you are and how you're moving. And then we go back to the messaging thing. How many people are out here, they got one thing on their website, but when you speak to them, it's something totally different, or they're just acting totally different. There's no room for that in PR. There needs to be a consistency there. And so that's another aspect of vulnerability. And then something else that goes along with PR is the idea of this instant gratification, right? I do this thing, it's going to work automatically. And so I think in order for PR to really be something that a business owner should even consider stepping into is they have to be solid with themselves first. Because if you're still out here looking for validation from other people or not really standing on anything in particular, PR is going to be very difficult. And you're probably not going to get the results that you want from it because it does require you to no longer be outsourcing your power, but also outsourcing who you are as a person. And that is something that is in short supply on the online space. I'll just say that. Lace, what has been your experience thus far?
Like you said, it has been a grind, but the best kind of grind because I don't have to do it on my own. And I think for me, a lot of business and everything that we're doing and have done has been made easier because I don't have to do it all on my own. I just love having that partnership, you know, someone to talk to, someone to go through all this stuff with. And there definitely is that vulnerability because unlike, you know, on your socials where you can put out what you're feeling or say what you're saying or diss who you want to diss and then go back later and go, oh, that looked a bit shit. Let me just go and edit that and still looks a bit shit. Let me delete it. You can't do that with PR. You're not going to record a podcast or go to a summit and speak or appear in a newspaper or a magazine or in digital TV and then be able to turn around and go, I think I want to scrub the internet of everything I did. No, you have to be sure about who you are and be okay with it and then turn up and be exactly that. Because there's no going back and changing it or scrubbing it or polishing it because a turd is still a turd at the end of the day. So whatever you put it out there, stand behind it and be proud of it. Otherwise, PR really isn't going to be for you because it's scary. People are going to see you in a way that you're going to turn up and have to speak. You can't delete, you can't polish, you can't change nothing. They're going to see you for who you are. So get comfortable with who you are. Go out there and start being who you are on your socials, standing on what you say, whatever that is. Even if you are an asshole, just be one. At least people will know. And then you'll be ready to go out there and really put yourself out into the world and into spaces and places where people would never have seen you otherwise. And that feels deeply frightening at times. I know when I did my first cover feature in DWC magazine back in November 2025, that was scary because I'm like, I have never shared some of this stuff publicly, and now it's going out there on public record forever to go live on the internet. So that's a hurdle you have to get through. But other than that, so far so good. It's been exciting. It's been insightful because you really get to see what other people are putting out there, how they're presenting themselves and their businesses, and if they really are standing on what they say, if they are clear about what it is that they're doing, if their messaging is clear and then making that decision about, is this somewhere I want to be seen? Is this something I want to be behind, involved in, or seen on? It makes you more discerning. And I just think it's fun. It's been great fun to sort of pick through and choose and even see things that you're familiar with. Like me and Sutton have seen magazines that like we used to read when we were younger or our parents might have read and we're like, oh my gosh, like can you imagine being in here? So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but definitely an eye-opening experience and one that you really have to put your big girl panties on or your big boxers on if you're a bloke and be ready for. It's not something that you should step into lightly.
Why do you think we don't see more entrepreneurs? I mean, at least in my orbit, I don't know about you. I don't see people talking about PR or people actually going forward actively for PR.
I think because it's really exposing. Like you said, there's nowhere to hide with PR. So if you happen to be someone that is not embodied in what you do, or you just kind of blow in hot air, and we know there's a lot of bullshit out there. A lot of people are just circulating all kinds of rubbish, selling absolute nonsense, actually don't have any clue what they're talking about, don't, you know, stand on what they say, are not embodied in what they teach. All of this is going to come out and your ass is going to be exposed in PR. So it's easy to hide if you don't do that kind of stuff. And I just don't see anyone talk about this. I don't know why. But maybe that is why, 'cause it's very, very exposing. And I think possibly PR is misunderstood about what it actually is, what it involves. And I have never come across anybody other than Mel Whitaker, who we're working with, who could actually explain to me what PR is. So that's also a problem, because if there are people out there claiming to be PR people and they don't even seem to be able to convey what that is, that's a problem.
It is a problem. And we've seen that time and time again, you know. So, yeah, let's segue into celebrating our new private client. Yes, Lace and I have joined forces for an absolutely brilliant offer. It's called From Scratch. And we recently welcomed our first private client into that offer.
Yes, we did. And I want to tell you the story of how this actually came to be. So, one of our members was watching one of our lives and reached out afterwards and said, "Hey, I think I want to have a website built. I've listened to you guys talking about FlavorWorks. I don't have a website, and this is what I feel we need at the moment." And we sat with this and thought, hang on, this particular member is not ready for a website. So we knew that she needed something different. And unlike a lot of people out there, we were not going to sell someone something that wasn't going to benefit them or something that they just simply do not need. And because we know what our members do need, because we are connected, we talk, we know each other very well, we were able to figure out exactly what she did need and what would benefit her. And we created from scratch between us. And then we hopped on a call and just confirmed what we knew she needed by asking the right questions and listening. And then we presented from scratch to her. And it took her less than 30 minutes that this call lasted to say yes. She jumped in and paid in full. So that's how it came about. Because when you know what people need, it's very easy to give them what they need, and people say yes. So that's one thing. And also, this is not something you're going to see us talking about on social media, other than giving updates on how people are doing and those that are coming in and all that kind of good stuff. We're not selling this to the public. This is like double invite only, because you have to be invited into the flavor room to begin with. And then once you're in there, you will need to be invited by myself and Sutton in order to be a client for From Scratch. This is not for everyone. This is very, very, very special, very, very, very powerful. It takes you from skills and ideas, and I don't know how to do all these things and how to put it all together, to selling within just 3 months.
Yeah, and not only selling, but selling in a way that works for you, for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of misconceptions about, oh, I can go out and do this thing my way. And from my experience, typically when people say that, they don't have a way. Because if they did have a way, they wouldn't be in a conversation with me. So with From Scratch, it's not about all that blueprint BS that I know if you're listening to this right now, you're tired of and you've heard over and over again. We are helping you figure out a way that works for you around your goals, around your lifestyle, okay, around your business, your vision. So do we want to quickly just walk them through kind of what From Scratch looks like? So month one is with me, where I am helping you get clear on what it is that you're good at, what it is that you're passionate about, and how can all of those things come together into an offer that you can go out and sell. And I infuse it with helping you step into those early stages of leadership, leading yourself first, building that clarity and confidence through, oh, well, I'm not good enough to do this. And who am I to, charge money? We're working through all of that in the process as we're building this offer. And then month two is packaging up and selling that offer, right? What does that look like, bringing that out into the world? What is the process? What is the experience? And closing it out in month three with Lace. where she is helping you build a simple digital presence. Simple. No doodads, no doohickeys, no widgets. Something simple that you can handle, okay, for where you are at and for what your goals are. Also, what Lace is doing, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in those early days where you know what to do, right? You know all the steps, you know what you need to be doing, but it's that implementation, it's that action. And sometimes life gets in the way. And that's where people fall off the wagon. And then you haven't heard from them in 6 months, right? And they're like, oh, something came up and I'm trying to restart my business. No, 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 no. We are mitigating that in from scratch by helping you build out systems, not only for your business, but for your life, so that you can understand where everything goes, right? Where you want to prioritize, where you want to give more time to, or where you want to say no to, or yes. Because that's the real hurdles that we've seen, especially if you've listened to our previous live about hidden systems that we've discussed at length, which is in our research paper. There's other things that go along with having a business other than just go out and sell, go out and market, go be visible. There's stuff that goes on with people behind the scenes. So that's what Lace is bringing into from scratch with month 3. How can we help you build something, an environment that is sustainable for you, for your business, and for your life?
Absolutely, yes. It brings in those hidden systems that we have talked about inside of our research paper. Is it legit? So we've done the research, we found out the things, a lot of things we already knew anyway. And now you can see how we're bringing those into the work that we're actually delivering. So everything that we do is perfectly tied together. It marries up, it makes sense. And we know that we're hitting on things that are actually needed. And most people don't even think about, haven't considered, and don't even know our problems. So this is what makes our work very, very different. And this is what makes our work so special, and that it actually works. So we're very, very excited to go on this journey with our first private client. And we're already seeing that she's doing absolutely brilliantly. She has taken this ball by the horns and is just running with it. So we're very proud. We're very excited.
Yeah. And if you are listening to this and you're like, all of this sounds amazing, you flavor room ladies are on top of it, very intriguing. Well, why don't you just go ahead and book a Flavor Fit call? Okay, you don't have to stop at interest and intrigue. Book that Flavor Fit call. Learn more about the flavor room. See if it's the right fit for you and the season of your life and your business. And if you're like, wait, what? You guys do websites? Oh my gosh. What is all this I'm hearing? Well, yes, we do. We have a senior web developer that does all of our websites and app development. And we have joined forces with him for FlavorWorks. So we partner with you to help you bring your vision and your personality, your flavor into your business, so that your digital presence is working for you instead of just having something that's falling flat and is not bringing in the result.
Absolutely. So that is FlavorWorks, where we are your strategic partner. And if you're wondering, do I have to be a Flavor Room member to get in on FlavorWorks? No, you don't. This is one of the things that is not invite only, but we will have a digital diagnostics call with you, which you can book. Everything you need will be in the comments. And then we'll decide, what you need and if we are a great fit to help you or not. So that's pretty much all we've got today, unless there's something that Sutton wants to add.
Let's just plug our event, the Flavor Room Experience, the era of legit online business. That is 4 weeks away. And we have just spent some time today solidifying details. It is going to be absolutely amazing. And we're just really excited to bring all of these things together, the research that we've been working on, but also the expression.
Yes, we are really excited for this. We have just finalized the order of events and how it's all going to be going down. And we have a really juicy schedule for you. This is something that you guys have never seen before in terms of online events. Okay, so if you're looking for something fresh, you're looking for something fun, you're looking for something that's going to involve you, where we actually care about what you have to say and you can contribute as well, we invite you to come along. Again, everything you need is going to be in the comments. It's completely free over 2 days. So we've got all of the juicy stuff and all the performances for you in day one, which is the 6th of February. And the second day, we are having a Q&A and a bit of a shindig and a bit of a networking type thingamajig at the end, so we can get to know each other and connect and see if there's places that we're going to go together, whether we're going to collab, whether you're going to come as a favor, and whether you're going to find your next client or your next collaboration. So we hope to see you there. And we will speak to you in a day or two, I'm sure, probably tomorrow.